Dylan.
I'm Hayden.
And today we're just making a video about fuel pressure. And we'll actually be installing a mechanical fuel pressure gauge as well as
an electrical fuel pressure gauge. So, mechanical fuel pressure gauge I recently bought because I didn't really know I had an electrical one, but I found the sending unit back by the tank, and we're going to be fixing the previous owner's messed up setup.
Yeah, so hope you enjoy that, as well as we'll be talking a little bit about the plans that we have for the car and why we're actually doing this. So, sounds good.
Stay tuned. So the reason for installing this fuel pressure gauge is we're going to be supercharging this 318. And the way we're going to be monitoring or managing the setup is with an FMU, kind of not the best setup, but we're going to be increasing the fuel pressure for the given air that's going to be pushed into this motor. So to monitor that fuel pressure, we're going to be installing this gauge for just another added safety measure. So you can see here, there's a fuel filter and then the fuel sending unit right on top. This is an aftermarket piece that the previous owner installed. You can see it's pre-filtered, so it comes from the fuel pump down to the sending unit and then into the filter and then up through the hard line up to the motor. So that's incorrect way because there'll be a pressure drop over this filter. So we'll be removing this up to the front of the car where the hard line ends. So it'll be less wiring and it'll be a more correct reading.
Okay, so to get at that, what we're going to do is we're going to take a few things out. So mainly it's just our strut bar, which is attached with 13mm back. So we made a little bit of space here. So you can see we took off our intake boot there, as well as most of our intake. Took off our trusty strut bar there, which adds 4 HP. And now we can get a little bit closer look into what we're looking at here today. So what you can see here is we've got our feed line right here and our turn line right here. And you can tell the difference because the turn line is after the fuel pressure regulator. So I guess just taking a look down here, this is about where we're going to put our fuel, mechanical fuel gauge pressure gauge. And that's just going to go right around there. And we're just going to also go ahead and replace some of the lines here just because they are the old BMW stock line.
Alright, so I'm going to call it there for the night. What I got done is mechanical fuel gauges installed. Down there, the electrical fuel sender unit is installed. There's 2 wires. One is for the ground for that, and then another one goes through the firewall and to the gauge itself. I'll be wiring that up tomorrow, and we will do the test.
Okay, so we finally got all these wires soldered up together, and we're ready to just test to see if it is ready. We did not solder it without putting it in the pod first, like idiots. We're just testing it.
Hey! Sick. The lights work. Alright, we're going to tighten up a hose clamp, and then we'll come back when that's all tightened up, and we'll see if it reads the correct pressure. Alright, we got Dylan over here holding up the intake. We just got it loosely bolted on. Here, right here, is the fuel pressure gauge. We have the mechanical gauge, which he is looking at. And I'm going to start it up right now. Alright, there's ignition power. We can see it's lighted up. Here we go. Alright, check that out. Oh, it flipped down. Let me just grab it for you. My belt's squeaking. We got 40 PSI about.